The Boston Bruins have made a sneaky good signing as they have once again poached another player for the future from the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're going to be breaking down this signing, going over what it means going forward, as well as multiple moves made by the Boston Bruins, as well as an update coming from college with multiple Bruins prospects being given some very high praise. We're going to be breaking it down, going over everything that we have here today, the moves and everything else, because as we know, this Bruins team is still looking for their right spot, getting into a rhythm. Once again, getting back into the win column as they showed their old ways last night against the Dallas Stars. But this team is making moves to ensure that they are going to find themselves in an excellent position going for the remainder of the season as they are still pushing for a playoff spot. And given everything that we have, this team is still looking very good, but we know Don Sweeney is set to make a few moves with some things happening over the past couple of days. They have been narrowed down to a lesser pool. So we're going to be kind of breaking down all of that here in this video. Now, before we do get into it, this video is brought to you by Kalshi. When you download Kalshi using the link below and entering the partner code DIGESTNHL, you'll get $20 when you trade your first 100. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the US, and on their platform, you can trade yes or no on real-life events, sports, elections, news, pretty much everything. They have you covered. Whether you're in California, Texas, or Massachusetts, like the majority of Bruins fans, Kalshi is live in all 50 states. And for sports fans, you can trade on playoff chances, game outcomes, player performances, and so much more, all on a regulated market where you can cash out at any time. And with the Bruins having quite a few game options as well as a playoff chances like we've been seeing over the past couple of videos, there's also one that is a very interesting opportunity, and that is Drake May and the New England Patriots, a 27% chance to win the Super Bowl on Kalshi. I'm trading yes. I believe in Drake May and this team, especially given who they're going up against. And this team is due for another Super Bowl. So I'm trading yes on this. It's a very good time to go here ahead of these championship games going into the Super Bowl. But it genuinely is a smarter way to use your sports and news knowledge, and you can close position whenever you want. So be sure to go download Kalshi using the link in the description. And don't forget to use the partner code DIGESTNHL, just like you see on your screen right here, to get your $20 bonus. Thank you to Kalshi once again for sponsoring this video. Now, given everything that we have today, the Bruins have re-signed Alex Steeves to a 2-year contract for $1.65 million AAV. But on top of this, this is another player that came from the Toronto Maple Leafs and going into the Bruins system for the future. This is also an NHL contract, not a two-way, so the Bruins have the trust that we've seen in him. Now, Alex Steeves has been a player that we've spoken about quite a bit over his NHL tenure here with the Bruins in this season. He jumped into this lineup, was fantastic, was absolutely phenomenal with his play, playing a smart game wherever we saw Marco Sturm put him. He played a very, very solid game, and he's earned this contract. The same thing as Jonathan Aspero. A very similar situation. Someone been given the chance and broke into the NHL. And now at this point right now, looking at Alex Steeves, I mean, you kind of look over the past couple of seasons, dating back to 21-22 when he did come out of Notre Dame and go to the Marlies and the Maple Leafs. He was very good in the AHL, literally ever since he was here. And then we know how it turned out. Signed with the Bruins, go to play in Providence for 9 games, putting up some pretty good numbers there, and then jumping into the NHL, 14 points in 33 games. He has been such a reliable player, and I feel like that's why he has deserved and earned this contract, and why Don Sweeney was so comfortable giving it to him. He's a guy that wherever he's put, he's playing a fantastic game, and given that way that he's kind of playing out, given that situation, and looking at the offense right now, he's currently on the third line with Minton and Geekie. He has been on the first line, the second line. I also believe he's been on the fourth line on an occasion. And he's found that success wherever he's been. So Don Sweeney has a very good use for him. Given Marco Sturm a great option, someone he likes, and being as versatile as a player that he is, being able to have him for at least the next 2 years on this roster is going to be a huge bonus for them due to, the amount of trust, I think is a good way of putting it, that Marco Sturm, Don Sweeney, has seen in him over his 33 games. Now, given Alex Steeves as well, There's going to be a few roster changes here on this team, I think it's fair to say, with trades and whatnot, but he has been someone that certainly has seemed like they have a place locked, at least whatever may happen. Other names like Casey Middlestat don't really, and, among other players with injuries, he's been able to, find how to play his game wherever it may be and whatever Marco Sturm would be asking of him. So I love the signing. It's completely risk-free. I mean, $1.6 million for someone of his caliber, someone of his versatility. It really is just a contract that makes a lot of sense for the Bruins to make. The same thing as Jonathan Aspero, who has been on the first line for the past, what it seems like, 2 weeks. You're getting these guys in the system and seeing them break out. It's such a good thing to see for the Bruins, getting some cheap contracts of players that you trust, and that's going to be a very, very important thing going over at least the next couple of seasons. So whatever happens with them afterwards, I think is to be determined, but now they have these contracts, they've earned their spot, it's going to be a good tell for them to really go and hammer out what they can do the best here in these upcoming games. But, in the replies to this tweet as well from this, Leafs fans were not happy. Another player like Fraser Minton that ultimately came over from the Maple Leafs or the Marlies to the Bruins system and is just playing fantastic. So you always love to see that as well. Now, we do have some updates here as well. A few moves that have been made and a few moves that will be made, as well as something here special at the end. So stick around a few more minutes for that. But once again, on top of those contracts, you see the names that have popped over and really had some success in the NHL. Kind of crazy to see the full list here of signings since last free agency. But going into, some changes that have been made. Billy Sweezey has been reassigned to Providence. He's like the Homer Simpson's father meme where he's circling in and out of the bar laying his hat, because I believe this is the third time that, or a second time he's being reassigned, third movement over the past couple of days for him. Was more of a precaution, but now, given that he's been sent down again, I wonder how soon it will be until he gets recalled back again. But this one as well, Vladislav Kolyachonok has been placed on waivers for the purpose of assignment to Providence, so this is another one that we will know when this video is released, but at this point of recording, hasn't happened just yet. Shouldn't be in too much longer if it already isn't released by the time this video is out. But he's a guy that, once again, was just kind of a filler for some injured players they had, some players that, were kind of up and down in the mix of injury, healthy, stuff like that, so played okay in a few games here, but being in Providence will be a good spot for him. Get, a little bit more back under his feet, as he wasn't playing every day. And I think Vladislav has a serious chance, once again, if he does clear waivers, to really have the opportunity here at this team at some point. So once again, that is something that we will know very, very soon. But on the other note, when we're looking at some future players for the Bruins, this is crazy, and I really like the sound of this. Boston College tweeted this out. James Hagens and Dean Letourneau have been named nominees for the Hobey Baker, and I will leave a link down below in the description, to go vote for this, because James Hagens, yes, of course, we knew he was going to be a candidate for this at any point throughout the season, but Dean Letourneau, I have been so, hyped around him this year. He has taken a massive step up from what we saw last season to this year. He's going to get my vote. And of course, that's, no disrespect to James Hagens, or no kind of not snubbing him, but Dean Letourneau has played exceptionally well this year, and I think he has been someone that will certainly have a massive opportunity here to win this, with how good of a season he's had and how much of a bounce back season he's had compared to last year, and kind of the expectation, I guess we could say, last year. Although he maybe should have taken an extra year, and probably had this year being his first. Very excited for both of these guys, of course, and, they both deserve it, whatever happens over here on that side. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got in this video. Let me know what you think about, first of all, signing. I think it's a very good one, a very smart move, very risk-free move by the Bruins, but also the moves on, the side of things and the Hobey Baker Awards. And like I said, make sure to go vote. Going to be in the description down below for that link, so be sure to do that. Vote whoever you want, but gotta be a Bruin. That's the main rule. But, that's all I got here in this video. If you did enjoy, ladies and gentlemen, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.